Curious Owl, and you're watching 30 Days React Challenge. So, today we will going to learn queuing, what will happen if we queue multiple state updates. So, in previous section, we learned about state as a snapshot. So, if you put multiple set updates, the first one will work, but whereas for the rest of the set update of the state will not work. So let's see how to handle that. Okay, setting a state variable will queue another render, but sometimes you might want to perform multiple operation on a value before queuing to the next render. That's true. To do this, it helps to understand how React batches state update. So basically we will going to learn how React will batch a state updates. Awesome. We will going to learn what batching is and how React use it to process multiple states and update. We know that. And to apply several updates to the same state variable in a row. Awesome. React batches state update. Okay, so what is the meaning of state update? You might expect that clicking the +3 button will increment the counter 3 times because it calls that number +1 3 times. Okay, let's see this example. This is what we saw in the previous section as well, but if you were not able to see that video, I would recommend to do that because then it will make more sense. But this was the example. So basically, when you click this button, we are setting the number 3 times, and set number is a use state setter. So what basically is saying, due to common sense, it should be number +1, number +1, number +1. So if I click on this, it should become +1. However, as you might recall from the previous section, each render state's values are fixed. Okay, so the value of number inside the first render event handler will always be 0, no matter how many times you call set number 1. So basically, if you call this number, the number is 0, and the present state of set number will be taken care of, not the current state. When I say present and current, so what is the number at the starting? 0, right? Here the number will be 0. 0 plus 1, right? It should become 1. Now what will happen? This set number will trigger a render, then it will render again. What your number will be? 0. If it goes to this, what your number will be? 0. So that's why you, on clicking +3, it is not updating +3. However, you might recall from the previous section, each render state's value are fixed. Okay, so we saw this, but there is one other factor work here to discuss. React waits until all code in the React's wait until all codes in the event handler has run before processing your state update. This is why re-render only happen when after all the set numbers are being called. So basically what it is saying, here the number will be updated +1, but that will put into some other queue. When it will going to access the number, it will have the present value that will be 0. Okay, your state is not updated yet, so it is just doing the same thing 3 times with the same value 0. That's why it's not updating the +3. So it's a very important point. Waits until all the codes in the event handler has run before processing your state updates. So I'm going to add this in our notes. This is why re-render only happen after all the set numbers are called. This might remind you of a waiter taking an order at a restaurant. A waiter does not run to kitchen at a mention of postage. Instead, they let you finish your order, let you make changes to it, and even take the order from the other people. At the table. Okay, so this is an illustration given by Rachel Nee Nabor. Thank you so much. So basically what it's saying, waiter or React takes all whatever you are saying. Like you're saying, set the color this, set the color to pink, set the color to blue, set the color to blue. Every value it will going to take, and whatever the last set value you will give, that would be taken as the current value. This lets you update multiple state variable even from the state multiple component without triggering too much render. Now, this is a very important thing because, as I have mentioned earlier as well, like React is developed by Facebook, okay? And Facebook, what kind of Facebook application, or what is the main thing Facebook application handles a lot? That is user interaction. Up every millisecond, I'm pretty sure they have a million of clicks, million of updates, million of comments, million of likes, million of posts created. How to make sure all these things are done without being too much updates? Like, suppose if somebody updates, post one comment, then it will show first comment, then second comment. No, it's not like that. What it does, within that second, how many comments have been shown, it will show that whether it's 1, 2, 3. So that is why this property can come very handy. But also, this also means that UI won't update until after your event handler or any code unit completes. So basically, it's saying that unless and until all the codes inside your event handler completes, your re-render will not happen. This behavior is known as batching. Okay. The UI won't update unless and until all the UI won't update unless and until after your event handler and any code in it completes. This behavior is known as batching. So this is very important. They may ask you what is a batching in React. Okay. Okay. Make your React app run faster. And why batching is being done? To make your React app run faster. It's also avoid dealing with confusing half-finished renders where only some variables have been updated. Okay, React does not batch across multiple intentional events like click. Each click is handled separately. So basically what it means is that one event will run at a time. It won't be happen like 3 to 4 events are running at the same time. So I'm gonna add this as well here. Okay. Rest assured that the React only does batching when it's generally safe to do. This ensures that, for example, if the first button click disable a form, the second button click would not submit it again. Okay, rest assured that React only does batching when it is generally safe to do. Okay, so this ensures that awesome. So basically what it's trying to say, suppose there is one button where you submit your form. So suppose you click that button, and once you click that button, it will submit the form and will disable it. So React, and then before submitting once, you click 2 times. So what React will do, React will not submit your form 2 times, but React will take your first submit and disable your button, and that second click won't submit it again. That's what it's trying to say, which is very awesome, by the way. Okay. Updating the same state variable multiple times before the next render. Okay, so what will happen if you update the same number or same state variable multiple times before the next render? It is uncommon use case, but if you would like to update the same state multiple times before the next render, instead of passing the next value like this, set number is equal to number plus 1, you can pass it as a function, calculates the next state based on the previous one in a queue like this. So basically this n will have the current value which the previous state, like when I say you call state 1, state number 1 in the first line, that will hold. It is a way to tell React to do something with the state value instead of just replacing it. Okay. I'm gonna add this as well in our notes because it can come very handy. Okay, try sorry. My English is my second language, so it may comes little weird sometimes sounding, or my accent is sometimes very thick, so yeah. Try incrementing the counter now. Okay, so import use state number, set number, use state. Okay, so now if I click this number, it will increase by 3, like here. What it does, basically it goes take n, which was your previous state, so the value is 0. Now 0 plus 1, n will become 1. Here again this n value will be taken, so now the n value is 1, so n plus 1, 2. Here the n is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is how you set your number. Here n plus 1 is called an updater number. When you pass it to the state, React queues this function to be processed after all of the code in the event handler has run. Okay, so basically what it's saying here, so this function will run when all this code is being run. So first setter will be run, then this function will run, then again this function will run, 3 times it will run. So this is cool. And during the next render, React goes through the queue and gives you the final update state. Okay, this is very awesome. I mean, I never knew this. React thinks so much. Here's how React works through the lines of code while executing the event handler. Okay, so set number n equal to n plus 1. N plus n arrow n plus 1 is a function. React added to the queue. Set n plus 1, n is a function. React added to the queue. React added to the queue. When you call use state during the next render, React goes to the queue. The previous number state was 0, so that what React passes to the first updater is the n argument. Okay, then React takes the return value of your previous updater function and pass it to the next updater as n, and so on. So basically this is n. N plus 1 will return the original value of n, the current value of n, which will be 1. Now this 1 will be substituted here, and same way 2. React store 3 as the final result and return it to the use state. This is why clicking +3 in the above example correctly increment the value by 3. Okay, this is cool. This is something very interesting, right? What happens if you update state after replacing it? Okay, what about this event handler? What do you think the number will be? Let's see. So they are saying that number is equal to number plus 5, and here's then again they are calling set n plus 1. So what do you think the current value will be? Pause the video, type it in the comment chat. I'm also very interested. For me, I think so the number will be, I think it should be 2 or 1. It should be 1, but let's see. Oh, it is 6. Awesome. So this number will up. Oh, cool. So this set number will update or queue first, then this will be queued, and where you will get the real state. Okay, let's see. Set number is n number plus 5, where number is 0. So set will add 5 to the queue. Replace with 5. Then set n plus 1 will an updater function, and React add to that function in the queue. During the next render, React goes to the queue like this. React replaces with 5, return 0, and n is equal to 5, n plus 5 becomes 6. React stores 6 as a final result and return it as a use state. You have noticed that set x actually works like set state n is equal to x, but n is unused. Oh, awesome. So basically this number plus 5 is nothing but n number 5. That's all. That's all it's doing. That's very awesome. So this is part 1 of React. If you want to see the update state in a queue, in next video we will going to learn how to update state, replace state after updating. Then we will going to see naming conventions, trying out some challenges, see and recap. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for joining. Bye bye, take care.